Hello, good afternoon, students and parents. Uh, we are taking these online classes because of lockdown. So I will be taking class 3 science lesson number 3, where the topic says animals, birds. So we all know what is animals, and under animals there is one particular creatures called birds. So we will be talking about birds. Before we go to the main part, it is good to know what are we going to discuss. So the main objectives I would like to highlight one by one. And to begin with, I would like to start with the first objective, that is types of beaks. Number one objective, types of beaks. As human being has teeth, birds do have beak. They are toothless animal. They have a beak where they use for eating insects, their prey, or some nuts or food, let us say. Okay, fine. Now there are different types of beaks. To mention few, I would like to mention first, there are certain birds which has strong, sharp and hook. Strong, sharp and hook. This type of beaks help the birds to tear the flesh of the animals. Example, we have eagles or vultures. There are a few more, hawks, kites you can mention. And second point, we can say another type of beak which is strong, sharp and hard. This type of beak is usually found with sparrow and pigeon. Usually this type of beak are helpful to crack the nuts or grain or some seeds. And the third one, there are kind of beak which are strong, pointed and scissor shape. We usually found with woodpecker bird. And this type of beak help to poke the holes of a tree trunk where they can collect insects from the bark. And fourthly, there are some birds which has long and pointed beak. Long and pointed. Usually this type of beak are used to suck the nectar of the flower. Example, we can find in hummingbird or sunbird. And fifthly, we can also see a very unique type of beak which is found in the bird's name duck or swan, which they have broad and flat beak. Alright, usually found in duck and swan or stork. There are so many examples. And these are the types of beaks where we usually found in different birds. Now let us come back to the second point, the second objective, that is types of feet and claws. Most of the birds, they have claws and some are having feet. Okay, fine. Especially this type of feet or claws helps the birds to hop, run, hold, or to protect themselves from their enemy and to walk around. Alright, so to mention few, I would like to mention number one, flesh-eating animals. Flesh-eating animals. What do they have? They usually have, a sharp claws to catch its prey, the living prey, a small rats it may be, or rabbits to catch. So, to cite an example, we can mention few, that is vultures or eagle. Secondly, perching birds. There is one kind of birds whose feet or claws are perching. Perching birds. This type of claws or feet, the claws, let us say, it is usually used to hold the branches of a tree or to hold a wire. Example can be crow or sparrow, etc. And the third point, we can come at climbing birds. Climbing birds. The climbing birds usually have a claws where it can cling and climb on the branches, or it can hang on the tree. So especially you can see with the birds, woodpecker, it helps to climb on the tree, and we also have parakeet, which help to hang or cling on the twigs or branches of a tree. And we also have scratching bird. Scratching birds, they usually use their claws to scratch the ground in order to take out the insects or some worms. Example, hen or hens. They use their claws to dig out and search for searching in order to take out the food that they hunt for. Alright, now these are the few that we can see how different birds have different claws or feet. And one more we can add here, swimming birds. Swimming birds usually have a webbed claws or feet where it helps to swim backward or push forward in the water while it swims. Example, duck or swan or stork, whatever it may be. Now, one more point we can add, wading birds. Wading birds has got a long kind of leg where it helps to walk in a muddy water. Alright? It helps to walk in a muddy water, and when it walks, it didn't get wet to its body. So these are the few points where we can discuss on the feet and claws of birds. Now the third one, let us come back to the third point, how birds fly. Yes, this is very important, how birds fly. Birds usually fly in two different ways. One is upstroke and one is downstroke. Upstroke, when you say upstroke, the upward and backward movement of wings is called upstroke, the upward and backward. On the other hand, the downward and forward movement of wings is known as downstroke. So these are the two important features here, important point that has to be noted to know how do birds fly. And fourthly, we can come back the fourth point, the fourth objectives, that is the feathers of bird. The feathers of birds. The feathers of birds is categorically is divided into three parts. One, you can say body feathers. Body feathers are the feathers that are found in the entire body of a bird, which make it looks beautiful. And the second point is the flight feathers. You know, flight feathers are used for flapping and balancing the direction. It usually found in the wings and tail of the bird. And the third point is down feathers. Down feathers usually it is found, the feathers, it is usually found on the bottom part of the body. And these down feathers usually the function is to warm the body of the bird. So that is the main functions of the down feathers. So now let us come back to the other objective, that is the nesting habits of bird. The nesting habits. The nesting habits of birds. Actually, birds' home are called nest. So they need a nest to lay what? To lay their eggs. So birds, they need home, that is the nest to lay their eggs. And how do they build their nest? Usually most of the nests are built with the collections of some twigs, small branches of trees, cotton, some dry leaves, piece of paper and wool, thread, all the collections and so on. So with the help of those things, birds build their nest. And to cite few examples, I would like to mention like tailor birds, they use what? They use thread and wool to build their nest by stitching with the help of its beak. And another one we can mention weaver bird. Yes, weaver bird, they also do collect some dry or green leaves and they build on the top of the tree, and usually they looks like a hollow kind of things, and they enter from the bottom, they enter the nest from the bottom part of their nest. Alright, now there are a few more, but I would like to mention penguin. And you know what is penguin? Penguin usually collect some pebbles and stones or small stones on the ground, and they assemble it together and they form to build a nest. Alright, now let us come to the other part of the objectives, that is the bird bath. Usually due to the disturbances of human, there are many birds which are wandering. They do not get a proper place to take bath or to drink. So what we can do is we can put some small basin where you can put water on the terrace or on top of the roof or in the garden. Then you can place it where the birds can come and play or take bath or drink. On the other hand, birds feeder. This is also a kind of saucepan or sauce where you put some food on it and the birds come and feed by themselves. So that is one. And last but not the least, objectives, that is how can we take care of an animals. We all have animals, pet animals at home. It may be dog, cat or parakeet, myna, it can be. So what do we do? So there are some tips we can use at home how we can take care of them. So point number one, we can feed the pet at regular interval. Secondly, we can clean up the pet dropping means waste. Thirdly, we can also give regular bath. And fourthly, we can take them to the vet or veterinary doctor regularly for checkup. And fifthly, we should not be cruel to our pet or animals. So students, today we are learning a little bit about the animals, which is particularly the birds, and I believe this will help you up to a few extents, and in future or in the days ahead we will be taking another more topics, and I believe you will be getting quite helpful from the topic what we have discussed today. And I would like to say that stay home and stay safe, and during this lockdown you please try to sort out the back exercises which are given in the books, and if you need any help, we will intimate in the days to come ahead. Thank you for watching this video.